Hello friends, so welcome to this lecture on management and data plane security in Cosmos DB. So in this lecture, we'll discuss about the access control, like how we can have the security, use the role-based access control to secure our management plane, and then the data plane security using the master key and the resource token. So first we'll discuss about the management plane security to by using the role-based access controls. So these are the role-based access controls, means according to the different roles you can assign these built-in roles to your users or groups so that you can manage the Azure Cosmos DB. So the first is a Cosmos DB Account Contributor. DocumentDB, you can also call it as Cosmos DB, or it is another name of the Cosmos DB, and it can manage like the other contributor role your Cosmos DB account to create resources within the your Cosmos DB account, right? And then we have the Cosmos DB account reader role, which has the read only access to read the data in your Cosmos DB. Then is the backup operator, which can submit or do the backup, can submit a restore request for your database containers. Then last we have is the Cosmos DB operator role, which can help in provision other Cosmos DB's accounts, containers within that. But with the Cosmos DB operator role, you cannot access the data. You don't have the access to keys that are required basically to access the data. So it's a best role for the operators, or you can say the L2s or L3 in your team who will be provisioning resources for your application team, to provide this kind of role, because they should not be having the keys to access the data. So because data is owned by the application who will be using this Cosmos DB. So in this way, we can provide access to the management plane security by using the role-based access control. Now we come to the data plane security, means providing actually access to the data. So there are two ways. One is the master keys, and then is the resource tokens. See, basically master keys, generally provide full access to the accounts and databases. They are created during the account creation. See, master keys basically are used for the administrative resources such as your database accounts, databases, and managing users and the permissions associated with it. So there are two keys which are generated: primary and secondary key. Remember, we discussed in the storage accounts, which provide full access. And then the another thing is like master keys. The problem with master keys that they cannot be used to provide fine-grained access or a time-bound access to the resources like containers or documents. So remember, the master key is for the administrative resources, database accounts, databases, users, or managing the permissions. And then in order to remember that, okay, why we should use the resource tokens, the problem with the master keys, like fine grained access, time bound access cannot be provided. So another option we have is the resource token. So basically, you can say that a good option rather than using the master key to provide access. So resource tokens basically provide access to application resources within the database. So like you can provide specific access to containers, partition keys, documents, attachments, stored procedures, triggers, right? So all these things you can do with the your resource tokens. And basically a user is are created resource tokens are created when a user is granted permission to a specific resource. So another than that, you can say that it provides a safe option rather than giving out a master key. So you, with the help of this, you can provide the time bound access, like helps in providing the time bound access. So default token value is generally 1 hour, and it can get maximum go to the 5 hours. So this is how we can provide this resource tokens to the client, to so that the clients can read, write, and delete resources Cosmos DB account according to the permissions that have been granted without giving them the master key. So that is the beauty of the resource token. So this is it in this lecture, friends. In this lecture, we discuss about the management plane security regarding, and we discuss about several built-in roles, and then access control using the for securing our data plane using the master keys and resource tokens. So this is it, friends, in this lecture. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture.